Hello, my name's Tom Rendle, and today I'm going to be taking you through how to ladder up in Hearthstone using a Dragon Paladin deck. And yeah, just going to start off by telling you a little bit about the deck, and then we're going to hop into the ladder and hopefully hack up some nerds. So I've nicknamed this one Dragondin. I've actually got two Dragon Paladin decks, but this one over here is the one I've been using with certainly some degree of success on the ladder. And it's very much a mid-range type deck, more than a control one. And one of the reasons I found it really effective on the ladder, actually, is that I find it's favoured against most of the current aggro that's out there. So your typical Zoo decks and Hunter, especially Face Hunter. This has got a couple of really nice things which I believe gives it the edge in probably the most hated of all matchups against the Face Hunter. So yeah, going to take you through the deck now. So we start off with a Zombie Chow, just an early game card. And let's take a look at early minions. Well, it is a Dragon Paladin deck, but there are a lot of high-end Dragon Paladin decks that don't contain the Fairy Dragon. Because instead of having this card, maybe you've got some knife jugglers in there. But what you've noticed is that from the normal control paladin, we have taken both knife juggles, and we've also taken the muster for battle. So yeah, we're a little bit weaker in the early game from that point of view, but in its place we've got two fairy dragons and two cog hammers. And these cog hammers can be an absolutely fantastic card because they're great against early aggression, because it enables you to give one of your minions taunt and you get a nice early trade, taking out a couple of minions for very little damage, especially if you've managed to get something like a shielded mini bot or a fairy dragon on the board already. And yeah, so that just helps you push on in the early game against aggro. Whereas in the more control and mid-range matchups, you might be playing the Cog Hammer combined with one of your later game cards, like a 5/5 Dragon Consort or Azure Drake, or anything later on really, and there it can be a massive mid-game swing as you take out one of their mid-range minions basically for free with one of your own. Okay, we've got a couple of Eldor Peacekeeper. That's just such a good card. It has to be in almost every paladin. Having two of these actually means that we're able to cut the big game hunter from this deck, which is more of a control card, and you know, we're not going to die to stuff early on. Does make it a little bit weaker against stuff like Handlock, but we've got an equality and we've got plenty of other mid-game cards, so I don't think we're in terrible shape against Handlock anyway. At least not from what I've seen so far. And now we start to get into the real dragon element of this deck. We've got two Blackwing Technicians. So this is just an absolutely fantastic 3-drop for anyone. Assuming you're holding a dragon, then you get a 3/5 with your battle cry. And okay, how many dragons do we have in this deck that can activate that? We've got the two fairy dragons, that's two Azure Drakes, so 3 and 4, 2 dragon consorts, 5 and 6, 2 Vulcan Drakes, plus Chromagus and Ysera. So I make that 10 dragons. So the chances by turn 3 or 4, you should have one of those in your hand. So most of the time, if you've got this on turn 3, you can have a 3/5, and you just can't complain about that. For the early game, so like I was mentioning, we've got the two Cog Hammers and we've got two Defender of Arguses, and these are our big taunt for helping us survive in the early game. We have cut out both of the Sludge Belchers because I just don't think they're necessary anymore because of that. I thought about running Solemn Vigil, the new Paladin draw mechanic, based on lots of cards, but I think that fits a slightly different kind of range deck, and since we're running 2 Azure Drakes, that's not such a big problem here. Couple of Blackwing Corruptors, just a fantastic card if you're holding a dragon, deal 3 damage. Dragon Consort is probably the key to this Dragon Paladin. It means that the battle cry means that your next dragon that you play costs 2 less. That doesn't mean it has to be played that turn, it's just whenever you next play a dragon. And one of the main things that attracts people to playing Paladin this way is it now means we can try Ysera and hopefully play that as a 7-drop. And that can just win you games straight off the bat. Typical late game cards, Dr. Boom because it's balanced, Chromagus for a bit of extra card draw at the end, plus it's a solid 6-8 body, and Tyrion because it's one of the best legendaries in the game. Things this deck lacks, it lacks silence. You could consider, if you're playing lots of control matchups, having like an owl in for a fairy dragon. It also lacks Sylvanas Windrunner, which I thought long and hard about. I'm still not convinced that maybe we don't want to take out a Volcanic Drake and replace it with a Sylvanas Windrunner. But, you know, this isn't like a set-in-stone deck of cards. I think it's very, very strong in the current meta. But, you know, play whatever set of cards works best for you. But let's see how they work right now. So I've been laddering up with this deck from about rank 13 to rank 8. Playing, you know, 1 or 2 other games with other classes to complete quests and stuff. But this has been winning, I don't know, 75% of games around about that rank. So let's see if I can continue with that kind of luck and skill on stream. So yeah, for those of you who don't know me, it's only the second Hearthstone deck that I've recorded. Previously on Joasar's channel I have a mid-range hunter, which I was playing before the Blackrock Mountain expansion. And I still play a little bit of that, but you know, it's not feeling like the strongest deck in the current meta. But you know, there's always a place for it. Maybe if you're facing a lot of control warriors, then that's great. Alright, just going to get rid of the 6 and 8 drop, keep the zombie Char. And what I'd really like here is to be facing against a face hunter and to, you know, crush him. But, you know, we're a little bit short on our early game cards. We've got no Blackwing Technician, and we have no Consecration. But on the plus side, we've got a Defender of Argus, so if we do manage to keep a couple of minions on the board, then that's going to provide us with a lot of value on turn 4. But I'd really like a Cog Hammer to come off the top deck. Dragon Consort is nice. So yeah, for turn 3, I'm really looking for a Cog Hammer or a Blackwing Technician. But does look already like we might be facing a mid-range hunter, given that we didn't see a 1-drop from the first turn. And what do we see now? An Eagle Horn Bow. Fair enough. I wonder if that was the right thing for him to take out. He could have taken out the Fairy Dragon. Okay, here's the problem. I just don't have a turn 3. I don't have the most awesome turn 4 either. Feels like I might be surviving until Dr. Boom. Kind of frustrating. This deck does feature a lot of 3 drops and 4 drops. But,
reporting for duty.
You know, hero power, hit him to the face. We haven't taken any damage yet, so that's good. But I'd kind of like a play that's more exciting than just Defender of Argusing up a 1-1. Oh wow, he decides not to hit me. What's his logic? His logic is that I'm going to give him a secret, I guess. So there were 2 versions of mid-range hunter right now. They both run 2 freezing traps, and one runs an explosive trap and the other runs a snake trap, I think. Okay, we're gonna do this.
My shield for Argus.
Because why on earth wouldn't we? I don't think I see a good reason not to take this out.
The battle.
And we give him the secret. And I'm going to test it out, I think, next turn with the Defender of Argus. Because that's a card I don't really mind being given back to me. Okay, it'll cost 2 more, but it'll allow me to taunt up later on. And great, we get him to use his Eaglehorn bow. And now we see a Leper Gnome. I'm really confused, and a Glavezuka. So maybe we are up against Face Hunter. Maybe we are up against Face Hunter. Who knew? Are we just up against a Face Hunter that didn't get any aggro cards and has done 0 damage to us? Well, I now think it's most likely to be an explosive trap, having seen the Leper Gnome and the Glavezuka.
Into the breach.
It's not a freezing trap. And why on earth wouldn't I play out a Dragon Consort on turn 5? I mean, I don't have any dragons in hand, but I have, what, another 8 dragons I can draw into? Ysera admittedly is a little bit slow for a Face Hunter matchup, and it does really look like it is Face Hunter at this stage. I wonder if he hits into this with the 3-1. He does not, he's a Face Hunter. Well, he's on 19, so I hit him there. It's not a freezing trap. Misdirection would be really annoying if I hit into myself, but it's going to be explosive trap. And there we have it confirmed. He's down to 14 health to my 19. And I just play a couple of cards, I guess. Got 2 Consecrations in hand, absolutely no reason not to play one of them. And you know what, let's go Shielded Mini Block. Because we have 7 damage on board, 9 damage total. So we could win. Ooh. What could we win with? Something exciting. Okay, I've got 12 health left. Am I a mana short? No. 2, 7, 11, 13. I believe we are winning this game against the Face Hunter. Let me just double check that. 5 damage, 7 damage, plus 4, 11. Yeah, let's not miss lethal. As much as I think we're probably favourite if we trade this out.
Weapons ready.
Let's just hit him to the face.
For justice.
Oh no, we're 1 mana short. Until we consecrate. And let's say goodbye to the Face Hunter. So yeah, like I was saying, one of the favourite things I like about this deck is how it can beat Face Hunter. Mostly because of cards like Coghammer, and then we face a Face Hunter, don't get Coghammer, and crush the face anyway. Ooh, and just in case you were unsure that this isn't a good deck, that's a win streak you see there. Obviously, you know, I just prepared for ages for this video, making sure I was on a win streak before, but hey, what can you do about that? So yeah, up to 5-star rank 8, and let's carry on lettering. Yeah, I think this deck is good in the current meta because of the fact that it's just so versatile. It's favourite against Face Hunter, and against Control Warrior. And, you know, most other decks. Actually, one of the things I think it's weakest against is an old-style Control Paladin deck with a couple of Muster for Battles and Quartermaster and all of that kind of stuff. But I think the old-style Control Paladin doesn't do as well against your usual aggro. And it definitely struggles against Face Hunter. Alright, what am I keeping this time? Another Hunter. Outdoor Peacekeeper. I don't really want to keep any of these cards. I mean, I'd love to have a True Silver Champion and 3 fantastic things. I might be greedy and keep the true silver champion. But I'm willing to be convinced that this is a mistake. It's certainly going to look like a mistake now when I've got 2 true silver champions. Where are my 2 drops and 3 drops and 1 drops and cards? Okay, this feels like the face hunters might one-all us. Honestly, I didn't think that there were that many face hunters around. I've been lettering up in, you know, peace and quiet from them. As, you know, people are actually trying to explore the new cards. There are a lot of... what's the deck I've been facing most often? I'd say it's probably the Grim Patron Warrior, which I think I'm in reasonable shape against with this deck. Okay, finally we pick up a Fairy Dragon, which means that we have some sort of curve. And we just have to sit here and hope that the guy's an idiot and hits us to the face. But if he takes it out, then... or plays a Glavezook or something like that. An Argent Squire. That's a slightly unusual version. Okay. Well, this guy's doing a lot more damage. I could Aldor Peacekeeper his Argent Squire. That doesn't sound like the most amazing play. But I don't have another 4-drop. I mean, I can play the True Silver Champion and go to face. That heals me up too. Takes me to 24, him to do that. That's kind of tempting. Or I can... I don't really want to play the Cog Hammer on its own. I'm going to need the taunt here. So the alternative play is to Eldor. And then on turn 5, play a Dragon Consort. But with 2 True Silvers in my hand, I'm gonna do the less mana efficient play.
For justice, move quickly.
And, you know, we see a 6 damage swing as I heal myself up for 2. And okay, if I have to play the Aldor Peacekeeper.
To my side.
Yeah, that could have been a lot worse. That could certainly have been a lot worse. 2 Argent Squires. Now this is a time I'd really like a Blood Knight to come out and, you know, happy days, but that's not going to happen.
Follow the rule.
So let's just do that.
For justice.
Ooh. As his well played pointed out there, that wasn't my brightest of play. Yeah. Obviously they were getting a little bonus, so I took an extra 1 damage. Hopefully that won't turn out to be crucial, but does make me look slightly foolish. Well, I can play another True Silver Champion. But I'm almost tempted to play the Dragon Consort. And then on the next turn, we've got a play.
Let me think.
Nah, we just...
For justice.
We're just going to do this. We're actually going to have to do damage to this Face Hunter in order to win. I can imagine a few scenarios where that 1 extra health could end up coming back to bite me. Perhaps literally if he's got Animal Bite. Consecration 1 time? If I could Consecration and then play Coghammer, then I would have a way back in this game. But otherwise, I think down to 8 health, guaranteed losing another 2 health. Don't pick up the Consecration. Don't see a way that we're going to do this. Well...
Let me think.
We're definitely going to play this card.
My work is paramount.
And we're definitely going to play the Coghammer. What way round are we doing these things? You know what? We put this into this. I wonder if this is like a face hunter that doesn't seem to have beast synergy. I mean, of course he's got animal companion because he's not an idiot. But, okay, we're going to hit him to face. That heals me back up to 10. And then we've got Divine Shield on the Blackwing technician. So if we hadn't had such an awful early game, we wouldn't be in terrible shape here. Okay, there's the kill command. Takes us down to 8, takes us down to 6, 5, with 2 damage guaranteed. Think we're completely dead. Let's just look around. Wow, we always play the Azure Drake, because who knows. Okay. And then we hit him to the face. We play a Cog Hammer. We can go 1, 1, 2, 1, 1.
Get in there and fight!
Okay, yeah, he wins.
Well played. Victory.
Okay, turns out it's not a guaranteed win against Face Hunter. I'd kind of like to demonstrate this deck against something other than that. By the way, just as a very quick aside, if you are facing a lot of Face Hunter, and you could fiddle around with the deck, but you could also just play a deck that just straight up beats it. When I'm facing a lot of Face Hunter, I switch to Ramp Druid that runs 2 Ancient of Wars, even 2 Shield Masters, just absolutely crushes it. Probably like a 75-80% win rate. It's even got a Druid of the Flame in there. So there's no deck that's good against absolutely everything. So if whatever deck you're playing isn't winning in the current meta, then change it up for something else. But honestly, Dragondin has been pretty consistent. So let us try a game number 3. And, you know, just sit here going, let's face a warrior, or a handlock, or anything. Although, you know, the other thing that this deck struggles a little bit against is your typical oil rogue. Although I did manage to beat it earlier. Oh, we've got another hunter.
Let the hunt begin.
I mean, maybe.
I will fight with honor.
Maybe it's not the same kind of hunter. I mean, at least that was a variation on your typical face hunter. I mean, we saw Argent Squire twice, but yeah. I'm sure you know this feeling all too well. You're just trying desperately to show off a new interesting deck and all of its, you know, late game potential. You know, you've got this Volcanic Drake, which is fantastic, and the Blackwing Corruptor. And, you know, your Seer wins a lot of games, and Tyrion, and you're just facing face hunters. So, who cares? Also, where are my 3 and 4 drops? RNG.
To my side. Reporting for duty.
Is there any reason not to hit that? No, I do have to hit that.
Job's done.
And then he's going to hit that into that, I believe. Okay. Oh wow, he hits directly like that. I think that was a mistake, but we'll see. If I'd been him, I'd have taken out the 1-1. But maybe I'm facing Face Hunter and not mid-range. Alright, so we trade. Oh, and now I've got 2 Volcanic Drakes in my hand that cost 1. And no mana left to spend them. This makes me sad. See, now they're back up to 6. Okay, we are playing Face Hunter. 3 Face Hunters in a row. But okay. Now we have a choice. I mean, not a very complicated choice. We're playing the Blackwing Corruptor. But do we do the 3 damage to the Leper Gnome or to his face? I mean, doing it to the Gnome enables us to keep an extra minion.
Let me think.
which is normally the right decision. But are we worried about Unleash the Hounds and Knife Juggler? I kind of am. Is that something that I'm going to play around? Do that, hit him to the face. Even if he does do that, then he'll take that out. I think I can live with the consequences. Yeah, we're going to gamble.
I wield the power.
And there we go. So we've got a solid 5-4 minion on board, but the nightmare here is Knife Juggle, Unleash the Hounds, and Hunter's Mark. Although I don't think Hunter's Mark is in this deck. I think it's 2 owls instead. But yeah, turns out we made the right play. And now we trade.
Weapons ready. Shield.
Take this down to a 4-drop. And the Fairy Dragon. And now we race the guy for damage. So it's 21 against 17, but we already have 14 points of damage on there. Oh, and of course it's always Huffer. Anyone who's ever faced Hunter knows it's always Huffer. Right, top deck me Consecration and it's my game. Consecration. Ooh, Defender of Argus. Defender of Argus. Well. Now let's see. There should be a way for us to play Defender of Argus with this Volcanic Drake almost for free. I can't take out all of his beasts, so I shouldn't try. But if 2 things die, that costs 4, so I need 3 things to die. So the way we do this is we go 1, 2, and now we can play these 2 cards. Where do we put them? We taunt up the high health minions and the ones that do the damage in case he has weapons. So we put this here and this here.
My shield for us. Move quickly.
And him to the face. Of course we die to like double animal bite and some other things, but okay, we've got 1 silence. And 1 Hunter's Mark. What's going on here? And Unleash the Hounds. Quick shot. Hang on, but he's... What is he doing? 5... I don't understand what he's doing. 11... 13. Oh, I see. His point is that I can't kill him because I need to do 1 more damage. Oh, crap. 8, 13. So I kind of need a weapon in hand or Consecration. It turns out Yasuo doesn't win me the game. Well, we need like a cog hammer to win us this game. And we lose. This...
Death to the pretender.
My work is paramount.
This makes me very sad.
The victory.
But okay, that was really unlucky. He had a Hunter's Mark and an Iron Beak Owl in his hand to get rid of both of our taunts. Oh my word. Well, going to go into a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to just non-stop win and hopefully face something other than Face Hunter. Yeah, see you in a minute.